When a person passes away, the job of administering their estate, of transferring that person's things, house, business, investments, whatnot, to the next generation, falls upon what people call an executor. Now, in the state of Florida, actually, we don't use the term executor. We use the term personal representative. It's really the same thing, just a different term for it. The personal representative is a person that administers or is in charge of making sure that a will gets processed through the court system. And if there's a trust, it's the trustee. Now, we're going to talk about both of those sort of combined, executor or personal representative or trustee, just sort of as one overall process and what are the duties and obligations. There are some differences between the personal representative in a probate context and a trustee in a trust context. There are definitely some differences, but there are a lot of similarities. Now, for starters, that person, personal representative or the trustee, they're really performing a job, right? And that job is to make sure that the deceased person's assets that they're leaving to the beneficiaries, that those assets are protected, that they're not being wasted away or stolen or whatnot, right? So really taking control of certain houses, like houses or business, and making sure that everything is in place, protected for that next generation is one of the core duties within that role. Then that person also has to deal with debts, right? When a person passes away, things such as credit card bills, student loans, anybody that they owed money to could be charged against that person's estate. So I always give the example, if I have an American Express, the day I pass away, if there's a balance owed, well, the personal representative of my estate or the trustee of my trust necessarily has to deal with that debt. Doesn't mean necessarily that the creditor will receive money. There are processes in place to determine if that creditor gets any money and from where. So then beyond that, that personal representative and the trustee, they have what's called a fiduciary duty to the beneficiaries of the estate. A fiduciary duty is the highest obligation set by the law, right? It's the same level of duty that an attorney has to clients, meaning that, we have to act in the best interest of our clients. Well, a trustee and a personal representative has that duty to the beneficiaries of the probate estate for the personal representative, or the trust beneficiaries from a trustee. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to act to their personal detriment, meaning personal representative and a trustee, they don't have to do things that'll hurt them financially, but they really do have to think about what's in the best interest of these beneficiaries. They can't pick who they like better and just do something, on behalf of that person versus somebody that maybe they don't like. They really have that fiduciary obligation, that really high level of obligation to the beneficiaries. So in choosing the personal representative in your will or the trustee of your trust, choosing the right person often involves a judgment call, right? We often advise our clients to look at things such as, well, is this person responsible, right? Are they organized? Are they somebody that can be trusted to do the right thing? To also understand that, they can rely on experts, right? You don't need somebody who's a financial advisor, let's say, to be a personal representative. If there's investments involved, right, the personal representative and or the trustee, they can hire, using the trust assets or the probate, the probate estate assets, they can hire professionals to make sure that they're receiving the right advice to do their job, right? So understanding that they don't have to be an expert in everything you do, but they do need to be somebody who's responsible enough to carry on those duties is an extremely important part of choosing the right person. So if you'd like to discuss the choosing of a personal representative or trustee for your trust and really overall getting your estate plan done, you can reach us at 305-359-3888. You can schedule a consultation. That consultation is confidential, meaning you can speak open and freely with us, and your secrets will be kept confidential. And so everything we need to do to help guide you in the right direction. Thank you.